Hey guys, how are you doing? My name is Cheese and welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday and usually on Wednesdays I never record, but today I thought it was a good opportunity to look back on the past season and also talk about my plans for the next season, because I've already looked into a couple of things and I've already figured out my plans for what I'm gonna watch in the next seasons. But before I tell all my plans for the next season, I'm gonna start by looking back to the past season, winter season 2019, which was an amazing season so far. Of course, it hasn't ended yet, but so far it has been a really good season of anime. So I'm gonna discuss shortly what I've been thinking or what my impressions are of the season I've been watching this season. So let's start off with Daro. So Daro is actually an anime adaptation of a manga which is already really old. It has been written in like the 60s or something. So it's a really old manga and it already had an anime adaptation, I think in the 70s or so. But yeah, they decided to make another adaptation this year. And yeah, so far it has been amazing. I think the main difference from the earlier adaptation is that this one fits the atmosphere much better. It has a really serious atmosphere, while the older adaptation had a lot more like comedic elements in it. I haven't seen the older adaptation, so I cannot say much about the comparison or about the older adaptation in general, but I've been enjoying the newer adaptation a lot. I really love the art style in it. The storyline is great and really interesting. It is an historical anime, so for some people that might be a turn off. For me as well, like usually I don't really watch historical anime, but when I saw this trailer it seemed really interesting, and it's of course like considered one of the classics, you know, when you look at what it's based on. But yeah, I also love like the character developments in the series. And yeah, I cannot say a lot without spoiling anything, but I would definitely recommend you to go watch the series. Even if you usually don't like historical anime, you might enjoy this one, especially if you like action scenes, a bit of gore as well, because there are a lot of brutal scenes in it as well. So even though I'm really enjoying it, I must warn you that, you know, some scenes might be a bit hard for you to watch. So just be prepared for that if you decide to watch it. Of course, it hasn't ended yet. It will continue for one more season. So yeah, we're like almost halfway, and so far I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, I'm also excited to see what's gonna happen from next season. Another series that I've been loving so far this season is Mob Psycho 100 Season 2. Mob Psycho 100 Season 1 was already legendary. It was so good. So everyone was already like hyped up for Season 2. And so far it has been really, you know, met up the expectations. Like the quality of the animation is fantastic. Of course, all these characters are great. So even though season 2 is also just 12 or 13 episodes, you know, it has been so entertaining, and I think they cover a lot in those 12 or 13 episodes. Of course, it hasn't ended yet. They're like right now they're like in the middle of a lot of fights. So I also think that they're gonna end this season with those fights and the enemies they're fighting against at the moment. But yeah, if you haven't watched Mob Psycho 100 Season 1 yet, of course that's a must watch. And if you like Mob Psycho 100 Season 1, of course I don't need to tell you that you should watch Season 2 as well. Another series that I've also been enjoying a lot, which is almost coming to an end but hasn't gained a lot of attention overall, is Kazukatsuyoku Fuiteru, or the English name is Run with the Wind. It is technically a sports anime, but in my opinion it's not really like focused on the sports part. It's based on like marathon running, and it's based on a team or a group of 10 like college students. So it's already like really different setting wise from usual sports anime. And like I said, it's not really focused on the running itself, but it's more focused on the characters, like their interactions with each other and also their development throughout time. Um, it's amazing. I've been enjoying this series so much, and it's one of the realest sports anime or shows I've watched recently. And I'm actually surprised that not a lot of people has been watching it. Maybe it's because it has like the sports genre in it. But I'm actually sure that even if you usually don't like sports anime, you might really enjoy this one because it isn't like really much focused on the sports aspect like I've been saying, but it's more focused on the characters themselves, and the characters are really amazing in this show. As well as the soundtracks, the animation is also super good. So I've really been enjoying this series. It's a shame that it's almost coming to an end. So I really recommend this show. If you might want to watch a sports anime which isn't really like only focused on the action and the games and the competition, but also like more about the characters. Then another series which has also been going on for quite a long time, which is still going on for another season, is Karakuri Circus. I know that like people might have some mixed feelings about it. It is really fast paced. So even I had a hard time sometimes keeping up with the story because it's based on a manga, also quite an old manga, also written in the 80s or 90s or so. But the manga itself has quite a lot of volumes, and they tried to adapt it within 36 episodes, which is really hard, even though 36 episodes may sound a lot. But you can see that sometimes they have a hard time picking out like the most important or crucial parts of the manga, and omitting like the less important ones, but still make it so that you can follow the story. So that's why sometimes the show felt really fast paced, which it is actually. But I've been really enjoying it so far. There are a lot of plot twists within the story, and just the whole concept of like fighting with puppets and everything. I really love like also the circus theme, so that's why I've been really enjoying the show so far. But I can also understand why people may have dropped this series or were less excited about it because of the fast pacing. But yeah, of course, like I've already come so far, so I'll also continue reacting to this series in the next season. So yeah, I'm also really looking forward to it and to see where this story is going towards and how it's gonna end. So then shifting towards another series which has been a huge success this season is Yakusoku no Neverland. It was one of the new seasonals. It was also just for 12 or 13 episodes this season, so it's also gonna end this month. But it has been such a huge success. It's also based on a manga, which is also really successful. It has really high rating. So yeah, I'm actually expecting a season 2. It might not come this year, but maybe next year. I don't know. But there'll definitely be a season 2. I mean, looking at the huge success and how many people have been enjoying this series, you know, it cannot be that it's just gonna stop with just 12 or 13 episodes. It has the horror genre in it, and usually I don't really like horror. But this one, it's really good horror. Like, there have been some like scary moments in it, but even I could handle that. And I think the way they tried to make the series scary was really done well, because there are also a lot of series which has like the horror genre in it, but they aren't actually scary. Because it's hard to make animation scary, you know, like live action horror movies can be scary as hell. They can be super scary. That's why I also never watch them. But it's hard to make animation just as scary because you want to try to make it realistic as well, even though it's still animated. But I think they're doing a really good job here with Yakusoku no Neverland with making it scary, even though it's anime. But yeah, it's an amazing show. I've been really enjoying it so far. I have no clue how this season is gonna end, but I'm really excited. So yeah, that's also definitely a must watch. Even if you don't like horror, anime, or just the genre in general, I think you will really love this anime. It's not that scary, it's doable, it's doable. Even I could handle it, so you'll be fine. Then of course also the non-seasonal anime like Steins Gate will continue in this next season. I'm getting quite far with Steins Gate, but when I'm done with that I'll also continue with Steins Gate 0 right after, so I think I'll be able to fill up this season with that as well. And also this Saturday I'll start with reacting to Konosuba, which will replace Namatsuri, which I finished last week. So that will be awesome, like just replacing one comedy show with another. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm really excited to watch it. So yeah, when I look back to the past season, I think we had a lot of amazing shows. Like the 3 new shows I picked, like at the beginning or like in the end of last season, were Daro, Yakusoku no Neverland, and Mob Psycho 100. So those were the 3 new shows I decided to watch. And I actually think that I made quite a good choice. Because I went into these shows completely blind. Of course, Mob Psycho 100 not, because I had seen season 1. So, of course, I knew kinda what the show was like, but I didn't know what would happen in season 2, of course. But Doro or Yakusoku no Neverland, I hadn't read the manga, so I like dove into these shows like completely blind. But yeah, they've been amazing so far, so I'm actually like impressed of how good of a selection I made this season. So now I'll talk about the new shows that I'm gonna watch. There's always a YouTube channel that I watch when it comes to new seasonal anime. It's called TopAnimeWeekly. Like the channel title says, they post new videos weekly. And also near the end of each season they upload a video in which they give a short summary of the new seasonal anime and movies and everything which will come out in the next season. And I always watch those videos in order to decide what I'm gonna watch. Also by looking at the studio which is in charge of it, also by reading the summary of it, and of course the trailer itself is also really important. So I can get an idea of what the animation style looks like, and also to get a look at the character designs and everything. So I'll put up a link of that channel in the description box below if you're interested. It is a great channel, it posts a lot of useful videos for deciding which anime you might want to watch next. So I really recommend you all to take a look at it if you have time. So also this season the channel posted a video of the shows which will come out in the spring season, and to be honest there weren't a lot of interesting series or new seasonals. Like compared to the shows which came out this season, it was a little bit disappointing. Like there were just very few shows where I had like right away like, yes, that's what I want to watch. There are a few really popular anime which are gonna come back, like One Punch Man season 2 and Attack on Titan season 3 part 2. But I haven't watched those series yet, so I'm not gonna react to that one. Instead, I am gonna watch Bungo Stray Dogs season 3, because I have been really enjoying season 1 and 2, which might be a bit surprising, but I just love the art style of it. I love the characters in it, like Dazai is also like one of my all-time favorite characters. He's awesome. He also really makes a show, in my opinion. The story is a little bit complicated though, but I find it really interesting. It's also based on characters with special abilities, and I think the abilities in this show are really unique and interesting. So that's why I also really like the show. And of course, like the animation in the first and second season was really solid, even though I think season 2 was a lot better than season 1. Season 1 was still alright, I really enjoyed it, but season 2 was already like on a whole different level. And I'll be honest, I wasn't actually sure if there would be a season 3, so I started reading the manga, or the continuation of the manga a little bit, but I decided to stop short after, so I've only continued a little bit further, but that was enough to know that season 3 is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be super hype. The story's gonna be super interesting. And to be honest, I only read a really small part and it was already quite a while ago, so I don't really remember the story either. So I'll also be going into season 3 almost completely blind. So it's gonna be great. I'm really excited to watch the show. But yeah, so there are a few great anime series which are coming back. Even though I haven't watched all of them, I'll watch Bungo Stray Dogs, which I have been following since season 1. It's just I haven't watched One Punch Man or Attack on Titan yet, so it doesn't make sense to react to the new seasons. So I'll just leave those series up to other reactors, because I'm sure that a lot of people will react to those shows. But then, what about the new seasonal anime? Well, like I said, there weren't actually like series that really stood out for me. When I watched that video of TopAnimeWeekly, there were a couple of series that I had a little bit of doubts, like I wasn't really sure if it was interesting enough. But there is just one series that really caught my attention, which is Carole and Tuesday. And it might be really surprising because it's really not like the genre I usually watch. But yeah, let's just dive a bit more deep into it. Okay, so the genres of the series are sci-fi, music, drama, and romance. Do I usually watch sci-fi? No. Do I usually watch romance? No. Do I usually watch something with music? No. But I have seen this trailer and it seemed really interesting. So I'll show you the trailer which I've already seen, but I want to share it with you guys as well. But before I do that, I'll first read the synopsis so you guys might have an idea of what the story is about. So the summary goes: 50 years have passed since mankind began migrating to the new frontier, Mars. It's an age where most culture is produced by AI, and people are content to be passive consumers. There's a girl scrapping a living in the metropolis of Alba City. She's working part-time while trying to become a musician. She's always felt like something is missing. Her name is Carole. There's a girl born to a wealthy family in the provincial town of Herschel City. She dreams of becoming a musician, but nobody around her understands. She feels like the loneliest person in the world. Her name is Tuesday. A chance meeting brings them together. They want to sing, they want to make music. Together they feel like they just might have a chance. The two of them may only create a tiny wave, but that wave will eventually grow into something larger. So that was the summary. I'll also show you the trailer because it seemed really interesting. So let's go! Yeah, it already starts off with music, with some keyboard and guitar. I mean, like, already look at this animation. It looks beautiful. I mean, like, hear this. Hear this. And then
マリオネットになる覚悟はあるか？退屈で死にそうなの。怖い。なかなかバズってますね。やっと見つけたぞ。私、キャロルと一緒に音楽やっていきたい。私もそう思ってた。
I mean, hear this. This is gonna be the anime opening, and it sounds amazing. And so yeah, that's the trailer. I don't know what you guys thought of it. I thought it already looked so interesting. I mean, like, they already got me with the singing in the beginning, and then the opening theme sounds amazing, and the animation looks great. It looks so beautiful. You know what it reminds me of? It really reminds me of the show Banana Fish. You guys probably may not know, but Banana Fish was my favorite anime of the year 2018. It was before I started doing reaction videos, but if I already did reaction videos by that time, I would definitely react to it. It's a shame though that I didn't, because that show meant so much to me. I haven't felt that obsessed with an anime series in such a long time. But I don't want to talk too much about that show, because this video is about what I'll be watching in the next season, not about which shows I liked in the year 2018. But I just want to mention that, you know, these two shows feel kind of like similar to me. I think like the setting of both series is already like the US, so it also has like that kind of atmosphere. And I don't know, like something about the animation as well, it just seems kind of like similar. Even though it isn't, the animation style is still different. There are also like a lot of similarities. And I feel like more in the atmosphere of it, and also like the sceneries in the series as well. Of course, like also the studios are different. Banana Fish was done by MAPPA, while Carole and Tuesday will be done by Studio Bones, which is also one of my favorite studios. They have done like a lot of shows which I really liked, like Mob Psycho 100, like Bungo Stray Dogs, like Kekai Sensen, which is less famous, but I still really enjoyed the series. And of course, one of the most famous one, My Hero Academia. So Studio Bones is a really large studio which has been in charge of a lot of series that I like a lot. And you know, the trailer already looks so promising, so I'm sure that Bones won't disappoint me with this one either. But yeah, like, do you guys maybe, like, I don't know if you guys have also watched Banana Fish, but do you understand like what I mean with they're also like a little bit similar in like how they feel or come over? I don't know, like also a small detail of, like, they're both about two main characters which come from like different worlds kind of, which come together and get a really strong bond. So you could say like Banana Fish is like the male version, and Carole and Tuesday is like the female version. Kind of. But of course, like, that's just a small similarity. Aside from that, the story is probably gonna be totally different. I mean, like, the genres themselves are also totally different. So I think like story-wise, they'll be nothing alike. But yeah, it was just like the atmosphere that reminded me of the shows. But yeah, so this show was actually like the only one which really stood out to me out of the new seasonal upcoming anime. Aside from that, there were a few interesting ones, but I still had my doubts. And I also have to take my available time into consideration. I'm expecting to be a lot more busy from next season onwards. So for now, I'm just gonna stick to those series that I've talked about. So a short summary of what I'll be watching in the next season. So it will be the continuation of Daro, it will be the continuation of Karakuri Circus, Steins Gate, Konosuba, and Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3, and Carole and Tuesday. Am I forgetting a series? I don't think so. So those are the series that I'll be watching in the next season. I'm already super excited, especially for the new ones. I'm almost 100% sure that I'm gonna like Season 3 of Bungo Stray Dogs. I'm not really worried about that. The only thing I'm really like curious about is Carole and Tuesday, because I know nothing about it. Aside from the summary which I just read and the trailer which we just saw. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys thought of this season of anime, and also what you guys are excited about to watch in the next season. So tell me down in the comments below what you guys will be watching or excited about, what you guys thought of this season. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. I hope my channel will continue to grow in the next season as well. Please don't forget to check out the links in the description box below if you're curious to see the full versions or the channel I've been recommending. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon page where I upload like early access videos to Steins Gate and Konosuba. So if you can't wait weekly to watch a new episode, you can already check out my Patreon page for the next episodes. There are also a lot of other merits in my Patreon page, so please go check it out. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for supporting me this past season and I hope you'll continue to support me as well the next season. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!